Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah,
Man, now I want
Yeah.
to go
Oh
back
yeah.
because
Let's talk.
I was like spotty on watching. I caught like the end. That's the thing. By the time I started watching again, Claxton was gone. I was wondering where Claxton was, and I seen he got thrown out. And I just want to see like how much that affected them because they had it like I think I
Yeah, they're
came
playing a
over to the
solid
house
game.
first when I came over to the house for a second over there, and they were up. By the time I came back, they was down. They was down by like I want to say 10, but then they brought it back, and then Royce O'Neal turned the ball over on the inbound. That was tough. It's like man, it's like you
Yeah.
see it. It's like they're there, but it's like you see stuff like that. It's like it's just simple like miscommunication or just. And Royce O'Neal, I ain't gonna lie, he's had a few like since I've watched the series, just a few just turnovers. I'm not all of them have been his fault, but just like I don't know. I just feel
It's-
like they you could just tell they're still haven't gelled together yet.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Especially him.
He's a
I want to see him and Bridges and Dimwitty. It's been interesting because um, Dimwitty had the ball a lot in the clutch today, and Bridges. That's the thing. Bridges was gonna get the last shot. I feel like Bridges should have got the shot before, but Dimwitty kind of just drove to the basket on like just drove to the basket on Embiid and somebody else, and ended up getting blocked. And it's just like, oh, you could see that they're
He just
there's a
hasn't.
problem. Even if they play them close, like it's like, oh yeah, they're not jailed enough to
flaws.
survive at the end of the game. Really,
Yeah, that's the interesting thing with them going forward is that it does seem to like you're saying, it feels like it is a lot of continuity. So it's like, yeah, you guys have played like 20 games together, probably not even that because guys are in and out and everything. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense that that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised Brooklyn was winning. I think at the time I checked the score, and then yeah, like kind of you said, just surprised Brooklyn lost at the end. Kind of wondering how what happened, how it went there. Um, any other thoughts? I feel like
I'm
I want to
trying to
go
remember
back
how
to the
Harden got kicked out. I can't remember. I thought I
something
saw that play too.
somebody's rib. He did some, or I don't know, or groin area. He did something.
huh. Yeah, that's, I haven't seen
Yeah,
that one. I
I
need to
feel like
see.
I remember seeing him walk off the court. Like, but I'm like, why my brain cannot remember the actual play? Like, I feel like I was watching when that happened. But um, what I want to talk about with the Nets. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, I feel like everything I wanted this series to go longer than it is currently going, and I wanted to believe in the Nets more than I probably should have. But the lack of continuity really comes out. I feel like it's just simple plays. They'll have on one end they'll have simple plays that makes you think, wow, it looks like this team has played together forever because you'll just see their wings do something on defensively that doesn't really that looks like they're much more experienced team. But on the other end of it, they have all these plays. I feel like where the lack of point guard or ball create or just central ball handler comes out, the responsibility that they put on the guys like Royce O'Neal and even really up and down the line, you got everybody kind of playing about like a punch above their weight class, no matter what with this
Yeah.
team, and it really comes out.
What is Embiid? I mean, I mean, he's been getting doubled a lot, but like today he only had like 14 and 8 or something. I don't know what he had.
Yeah,
Anybody got the numbers? I don't know. Like that's the thing. I just don't understand Philly. I mean, Maxi had a good game. I guess he's. I don't know. I just expected a
I
lot
don't
more
trust that
from
team at
Joel
all.
Embiid in the first round of the playoffs, but I guess
It was
it's
an unencouraging 3-0. I'm not gonna lie. Like it kind of feels like this. It could feel different for them to be up 3-0 and feel like they dominated. But all my brain goes to with these because it's Philly and the pressure for them is to go to the finals. My brain just goes to Joel did not play perfect versus this Nets team that was really small. He should have played perfect, but and then it
yeah.
goes to James Harden is not really getting anything inside the 3 point line or didn't really get anything inside the 3 point line the first two games and heavily relied on his outside shooting. It just seems like this team right now, Maxi is the only person I'm looking at that really feels like, yeah, locked in, knows his role and is playing really well, as opposed to Harden and Embiid. They have so much pressure and responsibility, and Rio, they did what they were supposed to do so
Yeah.
far, but it doesn't. Their on-court performance, having watched what I've seen, doesn't feel incredibly encouraging to how they're going to fare versus Boston or Milwaukee.
I buy it for
14 and 10.
Harden. Say it again.
14 and 10. That's what Embiid had tonight.
Oh wow, yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, I didn't see like this is me responding, not necessarily seeing tonight, but I feel like it definitely applies to Harden. I don't know necessarily Embiid. I think it's maybe the encouraging part is that Embiid got to just take the doubles and have his teammates win the
Yeah,
games, and he got through a first round where we haven't really had to worry about whether
yeah,
he's gonna get through the round, like get through
yeah.
the round type thing, and like, and I think his
He's healthy.
willing,
That's the
yeah,
main thing.
yeah, no, like his will. And that's the thing. Like just from watching the first two games, it's like he's still in Embiid, and I saw like plays like yeah, he would take
Mm.
the double and get the bucket or get the and one, but he deferred, and I think that's interesting about Harden because I do think the main point with Harden is definitely true, like the fact that he couldn't get any, hasn't been able to get anything going at the rim. In this series for the most part, and kind of just relied on hitting the jumper is not a great sign going forward. Um, but I think the other side of that is that the reason Embiid can be what he was in this series and still works is that Harden is the guy that can, if you're going to double team somebody else, the ball's going to ping around and people are going to get the open shots. And it almost feels weird that they've just been hitting the three ball the level that they've been hitting it, but you know it's been working. Again, I don't really think they're winning the next series. Either way, they have Milwaukee. No, they have Boston. Yeah, don't think I'm picking them to beat Boston or anything. But I think Embiid's fine. I think Embiid's fine as far as this series is went. If I'm thinking about it, but we'll see.
But yeah, maybe because I picked them to go to the conference finals. I think I had this series going longer than this for sure, but I did actually pick Philly to. I thought I picked Philly to lose to. Wait, Milwaukee's 1 seed. Yeah, I picked Philly to lose to Milwaukee in the conference finals. I think they could pull. I thought going into it, they'd be able to pull out maybe this Boston series. Boston didn't play great at the end of the season, which whatever that means, it means. But yeah, now I'm not really so encouraged about Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel. Any other thoughts on the? I guess we can kind of even transition. Any thoughts on the extracurriculars? I guess from the game, or yeah, if you have something else before that, go ahead.
Or just on Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Mikal Bridges. I don't know what's gonna happen with his career or where it's going from here, but I guess I've been trying to figure out the Nets and what happens with this team. But now I'm looking probably more interested in figuring out what happens with Mikal. It makes sense for them to try to just build around him, but also it makes sense for them to package all of these things they have for, I don't know, a bunch of assets for the future, or it's just yeah, they have a lot of value. I really have no idea what direction the Brooklyn Nets will go. But Mikal Bridges is interesting to me, and he's interesting to me uh, as a Warriors fan for the Golden State Warriors long term in the future. I guess it's just how is there a world or a realm of possibility where we can get this guy on our wing if Wiggins or Poole and any of these guys that don't end up being long term. But that's a whole other discussion, I guess.